This is a semi-auto build of the Russian PPSh-41, the burp gun, also known as the Daddy. And this is its sidekick, the Tokarev TT-33 pistol, which shoots the same caliber 7.62 by 25 Tokarev round, which is kind of an intermediate between a pistol and a rifle round, similar to the FN P90 by 28, which makes me wonder, is this handsome couple the Russian version of the PS90 and its counterpart, the FN P90? Let's talk about it.
Woo! It's go, 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 go time.
The Russian PPSh-41, the most produced submachine gun during World War II, with 6 million of them manufactured. Invented by Soviet small arms designer Georgy Shpagin in order to replace the PPD-40, which was the first Russian submachine gun. The PPD-40 incorporated more parts and used a milled receiver, so it was expensive, hard to maintain, and labor-intensive to produce. Shpagin wanted to focus on production speed and cost reduction, and as a result, one of the main advantages of the PPSh-41 is its exceptionally simple design. It was cheap to produce, reliable, accurate, effective, and easy to maintain. The original PPSH was a selective fire submachine gun using an open bolt blowback action. It was made largely of stamped steel and could be loaded either with a 35 box or a 71 round drum magazine, which were prone to malfunctions. The original barrel length was 10.6 inches, and the cutouts in the front of the barrel shroud acted like a compensator to keep the gun flat shooting and help with accuracy. It fires the 7.62 by 25 Tokarev round, like its sidearm, the TT-33 pistol, which is an 85 grain bottleneck cartridge with a muzzle velocity of 1,500 to 1,600 feet per second. It was labeled the burp gun for its high rate of fire, a whopping 900 rounds per minute, which was the highest compared to other SMGs at the time, which averaged around 600 RPMs. It was adopted by the Red Army in December 1940 and designated the M1941 Shpagin machine pistol, aka the PPSh-41. Nicknamed the Papa Gun, or the Daddy, because it was the staple automatic weapon of the Red Army during the Great Patriotic War. I became interested in the PPSH after shooting the Tokarev pistol. I discussed this pistol in more detail during my World War II sidearms video. I was impressed with how spicy that round was and wanted something else that shoots the same caliber. Then I discovered this semi-auto build that civilians can own with no tax stamp, designated the SR-41. It was released by Inter Ordnance in the early 2000s and built from original Russian PPSh-41 parts kits. Some of the main differences is that the SR-41 fires from a closed bolt instead of an open bolt like the original. Also, the original selector switch has been converted to a trigger locking safety on the SR-41. And you can't ignore the 16-inch barrel extension to comply with US regulations, as if it makes the gun safer. But I really enjoyed shooting this rifle. It was very smooth, but you can still feel the power from that spicy 7.62 Tokarev round. It soaked up the recoil very well, perhaps because this rifle isn't particularly a light gun. Unloaded, it weighs 8 pounds, and loaded with the 35-round stick mag, it weighs 9.5 pounds. And with the 71-round drum magazine, you're hitting over 12 pounds. And with the drum, it's kind of awkward to hold. You either have to have your support hand hold the drum itself or behind the drum, which leaves the balance kind of off. But it looks pretty cool. Now let's take a closer look at this SR-41 built from an original parts kit. First of all, this gun is clear. In order to extend the barrel to the legal minimum of 16 inches, the SR-41 has a smoothbore tube welded to the original PPSh-41 barrel. You can see the markings on the original barrel. This tube extends beyond the barrel shroud. The upper receiver is manufactured by AA Arms of Monroe, North Carolina. The lower receiver is from the Soviet parts kit with original wood furniture. The wood furniture has a reddish-brown finish, and I must say, it's quite beautiful. Now, there were a couple of things that were a little annoying to me. The original PPSh-41 has a forward sling swivel braced to the barrel shroud. That was missing on the SR-41. So you're forced to tie the sling on the shroud itself. Likewise, the original PPSh-41 has a stamped metal front sight protector, which is welded to the barrel shroud. This too was omitted from the SR-41. Now, these are small details, but it makes a difference in the aesthetics for a collector like me and could have easily been added by the manufacturer. The original buttstock has a trap door for storage of cleaning tools. The safety is positioned where the original selector was located. Pull it back for safe and push it forward for fire. The bolt handle is on the right side of the weapon's receiver and is a two-piece. The top piece can be pushed into a corresponding notch on the receiver to lock the bolt either closed or open. The takedown catch on the back of the weapon is welded shut. This changes the takedown procedure quite a bit, and it's a little annoying. You'll see what I mean in a bit. The SR-41 also came with original accessories, like this original sling, two-piece cleaning rod, an original Soviet steel oil bottle, and original magazines. The cool thing about this Soviet oil bottle is that it still has a fair amount of original Soviet oil left in it. I thought that was a really cool touch. It came with an original 71 round drum magazine, and 3 35 round stick magazines. The original cleaning rod comes in two pieces, so you can easily break it down and store it in the trap door in the buttstock. The magazine release folds up flat to prevent accidentally ejecting a magazine during rough handling. The unprotected front side post is adjustable for windage and elevation, similar to an AK. The rear sights are protected and have a flip-up arrangement that is adjustable for 100 meters and 200 meter ranges. This gun impressed me. There is no muzzle rise, and the weapon was very easy to control. Ejection is straight up and vigorous, and the accuracy was impressive as well. The muzzle velocity on an SR-41 is about 1,800 feet per second, compared to the Tokarev pistol, which is just under 1,500. So that's a gain of 300 feet per second in the SR-41. Now the stick magazines are easier to load, carry, and are more reliable compared to the drum magazines. Now loading the drum magazine is a process. And after you go through all of that, it's awkward to carry, hold, and they are well known to have multiple magazine malfunctions. But the cool factor is second to none. The takedown on the original PPSH was pretty easy, involving pressing the upper receiver end cap forward, then pivoting the receiver at the forward pin. Since the end cap on an SR-41 is welded shut, theoretically disassembly should be done by driving the forward pin out of the receiver with the drift, like in this video. But easier said than done. Now I had a hard time drifting out this pin, so I sent it to my gunsmith. And this is what he said.
I don't know if you had that screwdriver in the slot, but that pushes the pin out, which is how it retains it. So when you're taking this down next time, you want to use something like this, and then just give it a couple of good whacks and it'll come out. As you can see, the pin is coming out. So once you do that, once it's there, I use another smaller pin to push it all the way out from the same side. And I will get that. And then you want to come to this side, and you can use this same punch over the whole thing. And then you see the punch comes out, the pin comes out on the other side. And it's out like that. And then from there, be careful when you pop it, because if it's loaded on, if you have it cocked back, then it'll kind of pop out because of your spring here. But if you have it decocked, then it just comes right off, and that's literally it. So you're just about there, and just like that, really easy.
And there you have it. Now internally, the SR-41 is quite a bit different compared to the original PPSH-41. The barrel on the SR-41 cannot be removed from the upper receiver like it can on the PPSH. And instead of a simple sear release mechanism like the original open bolt design, it now has a conventional hammer and disconnector, much like the semi-auto AKs of today. Also, there is a plastic backstop where the recoil spring sits. And instead of a fixed firing pin in the bolt face like the original PPSH-41, this bolt has been modified with the hole running the length of it, now allowing the use of a spring-loaded rebounding firing pin. So you can see the reasons why these were so difficult to convert to semi-auto. It's almost like building a new gun internally, which is why not many semi-auto conversions were made. I shot my SR-41 alongside my Tokarev pistol. The light trigger and clean break makes rapid fire very easy with the SR-41. Also, the heavier weight and longer barrel just makes a nice soft shooting experience. Now, the trigger on the Tokarev pistol is very stiff. You almost wonder if the safety is on until you realize there is no safety. Also, it's a lot snappier with its relatively light weight. And since the Tokarev round has some similarities to the 5.7 round, I wanted to shoot them side by side, just for the hell of it. Similar to the Tokarev round, the 5.7x28 is also a small caliber, high velocity bottleneck centerfire cartridge, and it too has body piercing capabilities. But the muzzle velocity on the 5.7 is over 2,300 feet per second, so considerably faster compared with the Tokarev round, which is about 1,600 feet per second. The 7.62 Tokarev round is heavier and slower, but more powerful than the 5.7. Some people say it's like comparing the 45 ACP to the 9mm Parabellum cartridge. Oops, the safety. The PPSh-41 was used to great effect by the Soviets and is still being used today in ceremonies and conflicts around the world, including the current Ukraine-Russian war. Tough, reliable, with a high rate of fire and a large magazine capacity, it is easy to see how the PPSh-41 is still the daddy almost 60 years later. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe.